Oh, there we go. It worked. Just had to catch up. Just had to catch up. Little Thirsty Thursday episode here. Okay, we'll wait for a couple of people to jump on there. We'll get this intro going.
Do it.
It's how do we have people in the room and there's no one viewing the fucking video?
Do your thing. Just do it.
I just wanted to make sure. See, because sometimes it'll say that it's live, but it's not really live yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know a lot about these lives.
Okay, I'm gonna run this intro, and then we're gonna get right into this. We got some exciting shit to talk about this week.
Could you speak somebody's name there? Say that one.
Please speak my name. Priyansu Singh. Hello, sir, or ma'am. I'm not sure. I gotta be honest. I have no idea right now. All right, I'm playing this intro, people. We're getting into the intro here. Anthony, thanks for joining us, sir. What's everybody drinking on? We have a few beverages. Have a couple of adult beverages this Thursday evening. Anthony, I know you got something going.
We're going to talk about Anthony.
Might not be a drink. I know motherfucker got something going. Oh, I think it's time for a new intro. I think it's time for a new intro. Shout out to Chris C.B. Johnson for hooking up the intro. Oh, I forgot to do the official start of the podcast. Yo! You beautiful motherfuckers. What's up? Thirsty Thursday edition of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. Episode 98. We are creeping up on 100 real fucking fast, I'll tell you that.
What are we going to do for 100?
I think I'm going to try to give away some t-shirts. Now, I think I'm going to have, okay, I wasn't going to get into this yet, okay, but I think what we're going to do, we're going to have some t-shirts made, 100th episode t-shirts made, and I think we're going to give 10 of them away to people who are watching, who are commenting on the 100th episode. We'll come out with the time, the exact day, which will probably be wrong. What's going to happen is we're going to say it's going to be this time, and then it'll be the next day, approximately 24 hours later. Guaranteed. That's how it works every single time. Okay, let's do some ads real quick, and then we'll get right into the week that we had.
Do we have the product? We do. Okay.
Yeah, we do. I got everything right here.
Okay.
The Bully Bus Pet Transport. All your pet transportation needs inside the United States, coast to coast, border to border, north and south, east and west. 2 teams running, licensed and insured. The most reliable pet transport on the road. If you're having trouble shipping puppies because of these airline restrictions, contact Kasie Hicks on Facebook or call 863-618-8081. We use the Bully Bus Pet Transport here on Bull-NA-ChinaShop faithfully. That's basically the only people we use for ground shipping. If we do use anybody else, I'll be sure to shout them out also. New Vet Plus Vitamins. All breeds, all ages, no artificial fillers or ingredients. 1 bottle of 90 vitamin wafers is a 3-month supply. You give 1 vitamin a day for anything in between 5 and 100 pounds. Anything over 100 pounds, you give 2 wafers. Nursing moms, you give 2 wafers. The benefits for puppies: it helps build their immune system. It helps develop their bone structure. It helps overall development, eyesight, hearing. Just having the proper vitamins and minerals that they need and being balanced that way obviously is going to help. For nursing and whelping and nursing females, it'll increase the nutritional value of the milk, and it also helps the female produce milk. It'll help the female bounce back. For your breeding studs, it will increase the count and motility of their semen. Who in the fuck in this dog life does not want that? For puppy health, sperm production, and litter size, the best vitamin on the market and the official vitamin of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast is New Vet Plus Vitamin Wafers. Check out newvet.com and use order code 87981 when you order, and be sure to ask about their auto ship program.
87981.
87981. That allows the podcast to get a little bit of a kickback for those who've been asking how they can help and how they can kick back. We drop a lot of free fucking knowledge on here, people. Use the order code, please. I love your faces. Upcoming events. Last weekend was Atlanta Bully Barbecue. We almost died on the way to that.
Oh my god.
We
didn't talk about that yet on there?
No, we almost fucking died, people. It's not a joke. We'll get into that in a second. What's next? June 9th, ABKC Smashville Summer Showdown. That's a tongue twister, motherfucker. Leo McKinney.
Smashville.
Let's take it easy with the tongue twister titles, Bob, okay? ABKC Smashville Summer Showdown, Nashville Fairgrounds, Nashville, Tennessee. Multi-breed event. I will be judging alongside two other ABKC judges. I believe it's Errol Bodden and Rachel Ogletree. People I like working with. Mm-hmm. That will actually be my last United States judging job.
Uh-oh.
So most people don't give a shit about who they show under, because most people...
I don't know why. That's crazy to me.
Right, it doesn't make sense to me. Feels like if you wanted a fair opinion, you would pay attention to who you were showing under. But shout out to Eric joining us from... I just see him comment "Roll Tide" on the fuck, just randomly. There's just no context behind it whatsoever. No one's talking about football or college or anything, and he just "Roll Tide."
Love it.
Anyway, contact Leo McKinney for the ABKC Smashville Summer Showdown. Like I said, that's going to be my last United States judging assignment for this year for sure, possibly for a few years to
Alabama?
come. Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Okay.
Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, actually, I had one before that. My bad. This weekend, June 2nd, that'll be Saturday. The second annual Magic Bully Canada ABKC show, Grenville, Quebec. Contact Matthew Kwan on that one. That's going to be June 2nd. July 21st, the ABKC Euro Nationals at the Royal Highland Centre in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's a multi-breed event also. That's going to be junior handler friendly. Team ABKC UK's throwing that one. Sean Main, Derek Morris, and William Byrne. Contact those guys as soon as possible. If you plan on attending that event, you're going to need tickets. And if you'd like a booth, they just added a few more booths, but they are selling out. The first one sold out in like 3 weeks. What's next? That's Euro Nationals. Here we go. Jesus. How organized are you there? Excuse me. Cheers. August 25th, Sydney, Australia. That one's hosted by Suzette Turner. There's going to be back-to-back shows in Australia and Thailand. If you guys are looking for a reason to take a trip to see some dogs on an international level, it would be a great excuse. Australia and Thailand is not that far apart. It's going to be a long flight to get to Australia, but short flight to get in between shows. So Australia 25th, or August 25th, Australia's 25th and 26th. I believe it's 2 days. I believe it's a full weekend kind of an event. I could be wrong on that. Somebody correct me if I am on that. And then Thailand is the next weekend, the following weekend, September 1st, Art of Bully Thailand 2. That's in Bangkok, Thailand. I will be attending and emceeing both events. Actually, I probably won't be emceeing the Thailand show because I don't speak Thai. So,
nice.
Pretty good excuse for that one. September 29th, ABKC Ireland benefit show for the Laura Lynn Foundation. ABKC War of the Bullies in Dublin, Ireland. Cash prizes for all the winners. That's also a multi-breed event and junior handler friendly. Same with Australia and Thailand, junior handler friendly as well. What products do you use to maintain the beard? Now, listen, those are secrets you're going to have to pay for, Robert, okay? Hey, Bob, you're going to have to pay for those. No, I'm just kidding. Really, it's a cheap conditioner and a wooden comb. That's the secret. Super good genetics also. Blessed with beard genetics from my mom. Anyway, contact Carl Carey for the War of the Bullies, ABKC Ireland. Like I said, that's a benefit show. All proceeds, any kind of profits, will be going to the Laura Lynn Foundation. Somebody explained to me what the Laura Lynn Foundation does. Didn't pay attention because I don't care. It's a good cause, and we're going to try to get as many people there as we possibly can, regardless of what the foundation does. Carl knows, I mean, him and I have talked about this. Giving 100% of the profits to the foundation, that's something I can respect and get behind. And I don't give a shit what the foundation's for. I'm assuming it's for something noble, so we're going to try to get as many people there as we possibly can. Show hosts, brand owners, advertise on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. If you would like to get your event out there, if you would like to get your brand advertised on the show, email realtylumley@gmail.com. Okay, so I want to start a new segment on the show called This Past Week in the Dog Life. Okay, I want to talk about what happens in our weekly lives, because I feel like people wouldn't believe this shit even if we told them most of the time.
You know, I had a thing I was doing. I had some people participate. It was a while back, and it was called 30 Days of Dogs.
I remember that, where you posted a new picture of your dog every day for 30 days, right?
And you wrote a little thing, like you kept a diary. I had 5 people complete it.
Only 5? How many people started on the first day?
Oh, I think there was 30, 36 people, and it's hard to do. It's really hard.
Yeah, because you don't think about it. Like 30 days is only a month, and a month goes by so fast if you're not thinking about it every day like that.
Yeah, and it's hard to write down what you do. Try it tomorrow.
No, I'm not going to. Everyone knows I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
It's crazy.
We all know. I know. I'm not going to. I'm not.
You weren't even one of my 36.
I didn't even start it. But, like,
but it
what do you think the challenge was? What do you think the biggest challenge was for people to get from day 1 to day 30, posting something every day?
Yeah, you just wrote it. You just journaled it, you know? But it takes time to write all that down. It takes time to remember it. Nobody's going to stop their day to 9:30.
Takes time to get pictures of your dog sometimes.
Yeah. 9:30, carried 4 bags of dog food in. 9:45, you know.
Oh, you were doing
lined
like
up bowls,
yeah.
You know. Yeah, like that. Like
a daily
everything
log.
you did, a daily log. Yeah, it was really interesting. So.
But 5 people got all the way to day 30 and wrote something every day?
Yeah, I wrote every day. And that's, I know everyone's busy. We're all busy. And that was something extra that you weren't getting paid for it. You weren't, you know, it was just
no, but
an activity.
You were getting paid on that post. But 30 days in a row, somebody sees a new picture of your dog.
What I want to do with it.
People are going to see that and they like it.
What I want to do with it was make a, like that coffee table book that we looked at.
Yeah.
I brought along. Yeah, I want to do that. And I don't think we have an accurate idea of the lives of other dog people. You know, and we're dog people. But outside of that, I know that people don't understand what we do in a day.
Sure. And especially people don't think about dogs as much as you do.
Well,
There's no question. I know. I can't help but think about something that has to do with dogs every fucking day. But like, you're the only person that I know who, if we're somewhere and there's an opportunity to go see something about a fucking dog, the world's tallest Great Dane is right down the street here. We might as well go down and see him. We will go down and see that dog.
Hey, you know what? That you're supposed to see those things. That you learn from all those things.
That's a dog. You're a fucking dog man. And
okay.
I hate saying dog man because you don't have a dick, but you're a dog man. It's just, that is, like, you think about dogs more than any fucking person I know, including myself.
That makes me sound crazy.
And I'm obsessed with it. No, it doesn't. You created a breed. Like, this is your fucking path. This is your journey. You should be obsessed like
I am normal, though. I do other things. Believe it or not.
That did sound a little bad, but no, she doesn't do anything else but dogs.
Yeah. No, but I do. I love to, I'm going to say this. I'm not in love. I'm not in love with the dogs. I love dogs. Why do we have to share a pin?
Because
it's my good pin.
It's a nice pin.
Yeah, so.
But anyway, this week.
Yeah, we had a little extra time.
Two pretty ridiculous experiences on the way. Well, one was attempting to make it to Atlanta for the Atlanta Bully Barbecue this past weekend. And we got caught we made it to Kansas City, and then we got about 50 miles on the west side of Kansas City.
You have no idea where we were, do you? I mean, we couldn't even see a road sign.
I'm just guessing. I'm just taking a guess. It probably wasn't 50 miles because we were only going 30 miles an hour.
It was horrible.
But anyway, we got stuck in a flash flood. Now, I've never been in a flash flood before. I've never experienced this. Like, we drive a lot, and you've experienced rain on the road. And
I'm a freak in the rain. I hate to drive in the rain.
That's a fact.
Because I hydroplaned. We
hydroplaned approximately a quarter of a mile.
Out of control. It was awful.
It sounded like shit was being ripped off the bottom of the van. That's how much we were hydroplaned. It was fucking crazy. I've never been in anything like that. But anyway,
I was driving, which is even scarier.
Do we even have any dogs?
Yeah, we had the puppy.
We had one puppy that you were going to drop off. You were delivering to the buyer in Atlanta. So we had one dog in the back, and we were stuck in a fucking parking lot of a hotel for 4 hours. And it's not even like we were safe in this parking lot because the parking lot was also fucking flooding. There was a river in the parking lot.
Yeah, it was bad. It was scary. But there were 3 lanes of traffic, and we couldn't see. It was what time? It was early in the morning, dark, and we couldn't see the lines in the road.
Couldn't see the lines in the road. Couldn't really see any kind of cars because there was so much spray coming from the tires on the road. And on top of that, a fucking torrential downpour. Like, I'd never been anything like it. Anyway, we didn't make it to Atlanta. Decided to come back. Got a pedicure, actually. First time I've ever had a pedicure.
On the way home. Yeah.
Now, you guys can imagine that. Me in a reclining massage chair.
I said, well, do something. Do something that, we're just going to go home now. Do something. I said, well, I want to get a pedicure, and I think you should get one, too. And, that was a big no.
Almost fell asleep while they were doing my feet. It was weird having people touch my feet. I'm not going to lie.
First time hilarious when they were scrubbing the bottom of the feet.
It was the most ticklish shit. It was the most ticklish shit. They put some kind of stone on your feet. I don't know if it's supposed to hurt or what it's supposed to do, but it tickled the fuck out of my feet.
First pedicure. I think men should have pedicures. Makes you feel good.
Anyway, we get back home, and then, 2 days later, you message me and say, hey, I got to take these puppies. You want to ride to St. Louis? So the puppies that we couldn't get to Atlanta still had to be delivered, the puppy. So we drive to St. Louis. Perfect weather, actually. It was kind of hot. Drive to St. Louis. Meet the guy who's picking up the puppy. In exchange, we get 5 oldie puppies.
Did I not tell you about that till we got there? It's like I was surprised, or did I?
Didn't know. Didn't care.
Yeah.
Did not care. I have no schedule in life.
You didn't, and that is awesome.
So, I don't care. It just happens, and we roll with it. Anyway, so we pick up 5 oldie puppies. Well, actually, pretty nice little oldie puppies.
They are dandy little puppies.
And Jamie has already kind of mapped out this AKC Museum of the Dog that we were only 15 minutes away from.
But this is a museum that I have wanted to see.
But it allows you to take dogs in, is the thing.
I want to see it for 20 years. Mike Sweet would never, ever stop there, ever.
Right.
Ever, not one time. I mean, like the last 3 times I'd be like, hey, that was all I'd get out. We're not stopping. We have dogs. So, Ty said yes, that we could stop. I was so excited. Got this off my bucket
Like I had
list.
a fucking choice, really.
I know, but
What am I saying? No, I don't like seeing new and exciting dog things.
that's what Mike says.
But I thought the museum, once we got there,
Yeah, so it said you could bring your dog.
stressed me out a little bit taking 5 old English Bulldog puppies.
Well, so, you know, they're little. They're like 7 weeks old. They're not, can't walk on a leash very well yet. It's hot. So, I'm thinking,
Oh, you can't leave out the utility cart.
I know, that's what I was
The
going to
best
say.
$20
So,
utility
Ty
cart.
finds a wagon online, like go to Target, here's a wagon. This will work. So we get there. I finally run down the guy. 45 minutes later, they decide they don't have one in stock after they said they did. So, my dream was crushed for a minute. I was walking out of the store and it was like an act of God. I looked to the right. There was a utility cart on clearance. On clearance even. So I got it.
Utility cart's a good word. You know,
Yeah, but it
you
looked
could
pretty-
do
it looked pretty
multiple
junky.
activities.
I mean, you know, that was so. Then
Didn't turn though. Did not turn. Fixed wheels.
It needed assembling.
Did not. I put that thing together in about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't know how we were going to pull it, honestly. Even up to the point where we got to the museum.
But that's where I did a good job.
I'm like, I just didn't know how the shit was going to work. You know, 5 puppies, never been on a leash, never, you know, they're young, they're little puppies, so.
He was starting to just kind of maybe get a little nervous.
But worked out fantastic.
Of course, he hadn't
actually.
eaten, so, you know, that was part of it.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit of a lunatic. Hangry is the word.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got to the museum, took the puppies inside. We were literally inside the door for 8 seconds with the puppies, and the lady at the front desk went fucking crazy, straight fan mode, fur mommed out on these puppies, and they were taking pictures.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
She called the other lady that was working with her in, and they were taking pictures and doing, oh my god, pretty puppies.
Oh my god, and then the people started coming in, and it was crazy.
Yeah, and then there was guests that came in, and the people that work at the front desk brought the guests to where we were in the museum to show them the puppies before they started their tour, because
It was
apparently a lot of people don't bring...
a whole litter. Who does that? But anyway, the museum was awesome.
No, who does that?
And, yeah.
Apparently me now also, but because of her.
The museum was definitely worth the trip, and did you make a video of that?
Yeah, I got a bunch of video. I'm going to be doing a vlog. Just got to get it edited up. So, on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV YouTube channel, a couple days, there'll be a vlog up from it. I don't know. I'm not in a rush with that. Cool little video. The exciting part was the ladies that worked there told the director of the museum that we had the puppies in there. And the director of the museum...
I thought we were getting kicked out.
Yeah, he came in the room,
That's
and
what I
just
thought.
by the look on his face, I thought we were about to get asked to leave. Nothing new for me, you know.
Yeah.
I was just on my way to the door. All right, you know, I know how this shit goes. But the guy was like,
I'm the
you could tell.
museum director.
Couldn't you tell that he really like is a dog fucking lover, like a fanatic?
Yeah, you could.
He noticed. When we got in there, the first time he seen him, we had one puppy on the leash, and then we switched out one of the puppies in the crate or in the cart for the puppy on the leash. He fucking noticed that when he seen us walking again. He noticed it was a different puppy on the leash. Little stuff like that, to me lets me know like you either you're just really observant or you are a fan of dogs. You know.
And you did get on the floor. That was...
Sat on the floor. I got video of the whole thing. Sat on the floor, played with our puppies.
But tell them some of the things we saw at the museum that were interesting to us.
Ooh, the thing that...
And it goes back, it goes back from...
The thing that stood out to me the most was a mural. It was a mural timeline on 3 different walls of dogs that have stood out over the years that were registered through the AKC.
Through service.
It was service show.
Working champions.
Yep.
Or
entertainment.
Us.
Old Yeller was on there.
Lassie
was on there.
Tin.
There was a boxer in like the 1900s that was on there that changed the breed standard for boxers. One dog got seen by the right judge, and the right judge gave him the right review, and every judge after that judge put this dog up. But this dog,
he wrote a standard. He changed the standard.
Changed the guidelines to the breed around this one dog.
He became a...
And it said every boxer now, almost every boxer now in the register with the AKC has this dog in its pedigree somewhere, in its lineage. Insane. They call it the popular sire syndrome. Or popular sire.
Well, everybody bred to him then.
Everyone.
He became a top producer, but he was a beautiful dog. But it was because he was such a streamlined, perfect version. Everything flowed. His movement was just captivating, and he changed. That was a real game changer. That's what that was. That's a game changer.
Literally a game changer. Mm-hmm. One dog changed the guidelines to that breed. Crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. And then there was a Doberman that won like 21 best in shows or some crazy fucking thing, and a Norwegian elk hound that had won like 30 best in shows on the wall. The golden retrievers that they use in the service search and rescue in the Oklahoma City bombings. Mm-hmm. It was just a really cool timeline mural to see of, kind of what you would really call famous dogs inside the AKC.
Mm-hmm. Accomplished dogs.
War heroes. There was a exhibit for war heroes.
Little Yorkie Doodle.
Yorkie Doodle Dandy. They wrote a fucking book about this Yorkie.
He was a war dog.
And then they had paintings, like artwork from the 1800s, 1829, 1859. And the oil paintings from back then were fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and we were amazed at how some things from the earliest things they had were still around today, like the Bulldog. The Bulldog display was huge. Of course, it's one of the oldest breeds, and one that they founded things on here in the beginning. But a lot of the same things we see still today. Some of the breeds have changed a lot. The Mastiff was one.
Jesus, you see online all this, how much breeds have changed, and you got these little slideshows about what a dog used to look like from that breed and what it looks like now, and they try to make it look bad.
You don't have to know who wrote that.
The improvements that have been made to some of these breeds over the last 100 years are fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. There was some ugly dogs in the 1900s.
The pugs are amazing today.
Yeah, if you see a modern day pug, that's like America's Next Top Model compared to the original pugs. Yeah. For real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But shout out to Mike. Thanks for joining us, Mike. But the museum was amazing. Blew me away. The artwork blew me away.
Yeah.
The passion from the director, even though he didn't really talk a lot, you could tell how much of a fan of dogs he is.
And they're very aware of the changes that, we're going through. When the pet industry boomed, what happened to breeds of dogs? That had a big effect on our breeds. Just like it does today when the rescues became popular, what it did to, did to our breeds.
Right.
And,
When
we're very
Oprah,
affected by all those things.
when Oprah told a bunch of fucking lies and covered up the fact that they're importing 300,000 rescue dogs a year into this country. When that happened. I remember.
Yeah.
Very clear in my memory, Oprah. Thanks.
I didn't ever know that. I don't know.
Maybe I made that up. Pretty sure I read that somewhere. Pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Oh my.
Anyway,
goodness.
Oprah's fucking us, people, is what I'm saying.
There's a lot of things that are happening right now. When we got done with the museum and we were walking out to the car, I get a call, and the old kennel inspector had made a visit, and I don't know how many of you have licenses, but that's something to think about too. They're even making changes to those. And the changes they're making, I don't like at all. So what I found out was, you have designated agents, and in your absence, then someone else answers for you at the kennel. Anyway, my designated agents were busy that day also, so no one was there. And what she informed me was, now there's a $200 fine for when they contact you, which is unannounced. It's always a surprise. If you're not there, you can't get there. It's a $200 fine. Thanks to HSUS getting a bill changed. And so I think it would be a good idea for everybody to understand how these bills pass. And that'll be a whole nother podcast. But I don't think a lot of us even think about that until we're affected by that. And that's, we look for this unity, and I think we look in the wrong place. If we like our dogs, we should all be aware of that and fight for that, because things are changing. Yeah, we're
rapidly. In a fucking war right now.
Rapidly.
People don't understand. Like, there's a bunch of infighting and bickering amongst breeders of if you're a breed American bullies or you breed shorty bulls, if you're a breeder in general, we're at war right now with these fucking rescues and these, whatever you want to call it, the SPCA or the
HSUS. They have a lot
HSUS, whatever you want to fucking call it. They are actively trying to eradicate breeders.
But they plan on us sleeping, because that's what we do.
Because they assume we're uneducated because we breed animals.
So they plan on that, but really we need to be aware of that, because
Celeste knows. We've got a comment.
Our rights are affected by that.
We've got a comment.
We take it for granted until it affects us, but
It says, talk about whelping boxes and what is the best setups. This ain't a Q&A, Lori.
Whelping
boxes. We're not
boxes.
answering questions. We're not talking about shit we didn't come here to talk about, okay? We don't just talk about what shit put out. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I think the best...
Is it for a bully?
I think the best... To me, the best whelping boxes are the almost disposable ones. Because puppies chew them up so fast. Unless you want to build permanent ones like you guys have, that don't move in or out of the house with the tall wooden sides so they can't chew on the top edges. But breeder's base...
Well, it can't be wooden. It has to be something impervious to water.
Right.
So you can clean it. If it's wooden, you get a disease. They can live in the wood, and if you're licensed, they want it to be impervious to water. So that's a lot of damn paint. That's paint all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I use DuraWhelp or Easy Whelp. You can Google them, breedersbase.com.
You can even buy whelping boxes on Amazon. Sometimes I think it's almost easier to buy those. And I'm going to say this too. I used to think swimming pools were a terrible idea until the year that I got parvo. We got parvo, and so I had to burn boxes. And what's nice about a little swimming pool? You can use it one time, you can pitch it.
Yeah, it's $6.
It's sanitary.
I like those for puppies that aren't nursing. Like 4 weeks and up. the swimming pools. I
Right, I think they're too small for your breed. True, you have to get a big one.
But big bully bitches laying in the swimming pool will pin puppies up against the side of that pool, you know, because there's no puppy rails on.
Yeah, you do need a rail. A rail. I don't think a lot of people understand what a rail does. A pig rail, a puppy rail, whatever you want to call it. But it's around, you know, it's like this high off the ground. It's around the edge. And that's so when your mother lays down, because we have a lot of cesareans, they're a little bit goofy for a while. They're a little bit large sometimes. Sometimes when they lay down, that puppy can move under the rail and it can save his life from being smashed. So, you know, I do like puppy rails. It's
crazy to watch puppies, like, after they're done eating, they'll jet over to the under the rail. Yeah. Just so that, because they know it's a safe spot, they'll jet right back over under the rail and just lay there until it's time to eat again and then come back out. It's crazy to watch them doing that. We're not sponsored by DuraWelp or Easy Whelp yet. Open to both because they're both good products. Mm-hmm. So if DuraWelp or Easy Whelp is watching, go ahead and shoot me an email. We'll get that on the. But no, I think both are good. There's even cheaper ones that you can actually get that are disposable that cost like $50, $60. Use them one time and you throw them away. I don't know the brand of those though.
Yeah, this is something else to think about.
Dig a hole under the edge of the shed. Throw the bitch in there. She'll be fine. Don't worry about the seat. She'll have them naturally. She'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. No, something else to think about. What's your enclosure? Where are you going to put it? Do you need the sides to be this tall so she can't get out, so she can't see the other dogs? One thing, if you're going to have 2 or more litters at once, it's not a good idea to have them, you know, looking at each other. That can cause a lot of problems. Right. Smelling, you know, keep them separate. But we have some with walls that are high, and those are very, very nice for the moms that we want to stay focused on the puppies and not worry about every single thing that's going on around them. You know? Right. So
let's get into this, the episode that happened today.
Okay.
So the last thing I want to say about this week in the dog life is Jamie Sweet lost a legend, Shorty Bull legend today. Rampage Jackson is literally, if any Shorty Bull on the planet right now that's worth a fuck has Rampage at the base of their pedigree. He's the GOAT's dad. He's Goldberg's dad. He's, you know, anything that's winning in the show ring right now. I got a list right here. There's there's top 8 dogs listed on the ABKC website. 7 out of the top 8 Shorty Bulls in the breed are Rampage lineage. So he's either the grandfather, father, great-grandfather of the 7 out of the 8 top 10 Shorty Bulls that are listed on the site right now. Absolute legend. One of the dogs that actually brought me in. Hef and Rampage, first two Shorty Bulls I've ever seen.
Yeah, Hef and Rampage.
On the website or online. It's just, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about him. If you have a Shorty Bull right now, chances are Rampage is in the fucking pedigree.
He, you know what's crazy about that is he wasn't like bred like to every single dog, but
no, if you know anything about him, he actually, the puppies he produced. Mm-hmm. Didn't really look that great until they were about a year old.
Oh, the blood is slow.
So you had to be patient with it.
He didn't. He was, oh my, he was really, really, I should pull up pictures. He wasn't anything special at all. You know, he got kept, but it wasn't because he wasn't a stunner. He was not flashy. He was not, oh, so cute. You had to touch his, no, he didn't even really do.
He was a fucking gorilla.
He was just right down the midline, you know?
The most confident dog I think I've ever met.
And
to be honest with you,
yeah, he was just a cool dog, and I mean he was such an alpha dog. And you know, when I did Shorty Bulls, I was coming off of American Bulldogs and my oldies, and you know, all those alpha things were so important to me, and it was so important to me to keep that in this little dog, right? You know, because they were so little. and I didn't want him to be fragile at all. You know, so, you know, and that was kind of Rampage's thing, owning the ground he stood on. I love that terminology. I love that phrase.
Fragile is not the word that comes to mind when I think about Rampage.
I mean, he was, you know, I had a lot of people say he was a man's dog. And I just love that so much, you know, because he was strong and he was powerful, and, you know, he thought he was bigger than he was. And to walk that dog was just fun, because he walked that way. He breathed that way. Everything he did was alpha-like. And he was a handful when he saw other males. He was, and a lot of that was, you know, my fault too, because I'm not kidding you, I was beaming, like,
Right.
You could just feel the rumble, you know?
But even just looking at him, how he was built, how he was put together,
nice.
The look, the head type, the look on his fucking face, the expression.
His expression was beautiful. It did set the standard for the breed, because it's so unique to the Shorty Bull.
There's no other Shorty Bull that's had a bigger impact than Rampage on the breed. In my opinion, obviously, before you know, when Hef was around, when 50 was around, I wasn't really around as far as the Shorty Bulls go. But from what I know and what I've seen, there is no Shorty Bull that's made a bigger impact on the breed than Rampage. So,
but you know what was weird about that is I didn't. He was that kind of a dog, you know, and I didn't take him to a lot of things, because it just, you know, he was made for this in here, and he would, you know, he could have went to those things, but, you know, we took him to one show, and that's his trophy. He won the best in show. We went to one. We had a temp card, and it was fun to get out of the ring, trying to carry the trophy, and the dog that thought he owned the whole ring, raising hell on his back legs, and that was his first and last. And, you know, they said, "You're not going to send in the temp card. You know, it's this many points." I was like, "We're never coming back with this dog." I mean, it's wonderful. I thank you and all that, but yeah, this is his. He did his thing. That's it. That was all he needed to do. And so, anyway, today, I know he's old. He's getting old, and today was the day that we went ahead and I put him down. And
12 years old, yeah?
I don't
13?
know. I have to go. I don't even know. Because after a dog is 4,
there's no reason to even
I don't even count like that much. Right. I don't, because they're not getting any better. They're not, you know, we're not waiting for a pop. They're in their prime. That's it. It doesn't, if they haven't popped by the time they're 4, they're probably not.
Hey, trust the blood.
You know, but
there's a certain guy that owns a certain registry, or is trying to start a registry, that would just tell you to trust the blood. Excuse me, sir. This dog's 4.5 years old. I'm pretty sure any maturing that was going to be done. Anyway, if you guys are having a drink, or if you guys are drinking with us, cheers to Rampage. Tribute to a legit, real deal, legitimate legend in the breed of Shorty Bulls. To me, regardless of the breed, probably the top 3 favorite dogs I've ever met.
That's so cool.
So,
but this is what I wanted to say, and this is, I wasn't going to make a big deal out of this and all that, but this is what happened, and this is what I want to tell you today. We play God when we make these breedings, and that's always fun, and we're selecting all this and making all these choices, and when the dogs get old, it's hard, and it's hard for us to make the decisions, and I know a lot of you don't know what happens when you choose to, you know, euthanize your dog. But really today, I felt like it was one of the rightest things I've done in a long time. It really felt right. I was ready to cry, and, you know, I thought this was going to be terrible.
That's part of the fucking life.
It is part of it.
You
but it
choose
was so
to be
peaceful.
a dog breeder, you are taking on that responsibility also.
You are, and you know, since we can do them that favor, don't make them stick around for you.
Selfish.
When they're getting old, and they're,
right.
You know, you just start to notice, you know, his butt was gone. You know, just all of a sudden, that's how they do when they get old.
Fact.
Lose their butt. Then it's this meaty head that they once had. You know, it's just all meat. That starts to fade away. You see the little gray in the muzzle, and you know, they get up a little bit slower. Well, when they're telling you, he would look at me and I knew it was time the last week. I knew it was. He was looking at me like he wanted me to know. But if you haven't done it and it bothers you, it wasn't bad at all. It was actually, they give them a sedative. The dog gets sleepy. Actually, Rampage acted like he was drunk. It was not what I expected, but it was like he was trying to make light of the whole thing. He acted like a puppy again. He acted like a puppy, and we
gotta move past this. I'm about to start crying.
Don't start crying. Listen, if you have to euthanize a dog, it's not bad at all. Do him that favor. That's all I'm saying. They shouldn't have to suffer.
It sucks. I just went through the same thing with Rain about, I think it was about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It sucks, man, but it's you sign up to do this, you want to play God, and you want to have puppies, and you want to take all the credit, and take the pictures, and have the crowds, and have the dick riders online. You better be man enough to stand there at the end with that motherfucker and hold his hand right to the end, and not make him suffer just for your own selfish bullshit.
No.
That's your responsibility, the same as anything else, especially when it's not something that you can just throw money at and they're better. That's a whole different. Old age catches up with everything. Mm-hmm. Humans, dogs, everything. Age, time, whatever you want to call it, catches up with everything.
But when that dog is not, I just want him to go out proud like he lived.
Yeah,
I
really
want
to remember him how you just described him.
I
Same
didn't want
Rain.
the other dogs to see him any weaker because he was such an alpha dog. I never wanted them to look at him, and because dogs are really smart like that.
Right.
They're really smart like that.
All right, we gotta do
We're
something.
done with that.
Everybody that's watching this right now is fucking bawling, probably. But anyway, I don't even know what to go into
right
next.
There. Dale.
What is your dog worth? We were having this conversation when we were on the road.
Yeah, we were. This was a good one.
What is your dog worth?
If, let's just say, there's a puppy for sale, it's female, it's $3,500.
All right, we're done with this now,
yeah? Yeah, we're done with that. $3,500. What is that puppy worth and why when she's 2 years old?
I think
there's a lot of factors that go into that.
A lot of people are going to say a dog is worth whatever someone's willing to pay for.
Well, of course, that's the easy answer. We know that.
But what we're talking about is not only pricing your dogs, pricing your studs, pricing your puppies, pricing your adult females.
Well, there is a method to the madness.
People have lost their fucking minds. It's either their bargain basement prices where it's the half of the value of the dog, or it's absolutely astronomical and it's twice the actual value of the dog. I think people just are confused as fuck as to where to price their dogs and what value their dog actually carries behind it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about how much you love your fucking dog.
No, not the
I'm not talking about
value.
how proud of your dog you are. We all love our shit. We're all proud of our shit. Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about is if I post an adult female up, it's not going to be for the same price as a fucking puppy out of that female.
And why not? Tell everybody why not.
Okay, so here's my logic behind it. If I'm going to sell a female, obviously, I want to be able to get out of it the minimum I think I would make if I bred her and had a successful litter. So if in my brain, let's say a litter's 3 puppies. For everybody that loves these stud contracts with 3 puppy litters, let's say a litter's 3 puppies. I sell puppies anywhere between $3,500 and $10,000. Let's just be real about it. So if I'm looking at selling an adult female, it's not going to be any less than at least 2 of those puppies. So I would say 35 and 35, that's $7,000. So if you're coming to me to outright buy an adult female, it's going to be $7,000. That's what we're talking about right off the top. Right minimum, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and we're saying this is a good dog. This is
quality female, healthy bitch,
not
good
structurally
uterus,
messed up.
you know, fairly consistent on her cycle timing. A good breeder bitch to go to someone else. We're talking minimum $7K. That's just, some people don't sell. Let's say you sell $2,000 puppies. Mm-hmm. You say the minimum litter is going to be 3 puppies out of that. If you're going to keep one, you're looking at least a $4K adult bitch, and that's for someone who, I call that entry level. I'm going to say that's entry level. Mm-hmm. You're selling $2,000 puppies, American Bullies, or Shorty Bulls. Both breeds are kind of similar as far as price ranges go. If you're selling $2,000 puppies, that's entry level shit.
Well, let's talk about why people do that, okay?
Yeah, motherfuckers got to pay the bills. That's why. They got no pride in their shit, and they got to pay their electric bill. That's why.
If you charge a higher price and you get it, do you think you're about the money?
No, I think you have a standard that you set for yourself, and you stick to that standard. I didn't do all this fucking work the past decade. Mm-hmm. I didn't put the dogs together that I put together to go backwards. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go backwards because I've got a leftover puppy. Now I'm going to give it to somebody $1,500 and let them breed the fuck out of it. It's not going to happen. I'd much rather fix that puppy, give it away to somebody who needs it, donate it to a veteran as I do every year. I'd much rather do that than sell somebody a cheap, what I call a bargain price dog, basement bargain price dog, so they can breed the fuck out of it. Because any dog you sell that's intact is going to get bred. We've covered that so many times on the podcast. Not funny. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to set minimums for yourself. You have to give yourself a floor to stand on. Everybody wants to talk about their ceiling. Well, I can only sell puppies for this. That's your ceiling. Give yourself a fucking minimum. Give yourself a floor to stand on. Mm-hmm. Now, there is a difference between, for me, there's a difference between companion prices and brood stock or show stock prices. If you want full breeding rights, it's going to be full price. If you want a companion just to have in the house as a pet, still a quality dog, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a price difference, but you're still going to be paying $2,500. The floor that my program stands on does not go below $2,500. That's the lowest, even if it's a companion. But that's the minimums that I've set for my stuff. Again, if you're entry level and you're setting a minimum of, if you're selling breeding quality pup, breeding rights for $2,000, maybe your pet prices are $800, $1,000. Maybe that's your floor. But then you hold the puppies you're selling as companions long enough to get them fixed, because if you let that puppy leave your house intact, it's going to be bred.
Right. Sometimes I have this little joke and I say, the dog is free. The uterus, the testicles are what you're buying.
Right. That's fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, the love and companionship, that's not what you're paying for. For the most part, if you're buying a breeder.
But we are in a, there's a lot of dogs out there which affect all these things. Everybody's on a different level, which affects these things. And we don't all, this is not as important to all of us the same way. So, I'm not saying that's any excuse.
No, you're not saying that's right or wrong either. You're not saying one way to look at it's right or one way to look at it's wrong. You're just saying it's a different way. Yeah. We've all got kind of a different perspective on it.
Yeah, but as dog people, we got to get our logic a little bit closer in, I think. Undercutting, sure, we expect that. A few $100s, whatever. If you're going to have puppies and you're going to panic because they're not sold and you don't have space to keep them and yada, 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 you should just stop. Don't breed the next one that comes in. Maybe rethink the whole decision. If you're breeding dogs and they're not of quality that you can't get, the high end of market value for one puppy, then maybe you should stop. Maybe you should stop and somebody will be like, oh, I breed for the pet market. What the hell is that? What is that? That they should all be somebody's pet. All of them. You know, pet used to. Pet just, it wasn't bad. Now,
No, but now if you say something's pet quality, it carries a negative connotation.
Yeah, but I think when we signed Code of Ethics and all that, and people beg for this unity, but then we're all over the map in all these other places.
But the same people that are screaming for
closer.
unity and want this fucking breed club shit and want all this shit are the same motherfuckers that are selling $800 stud fees because, oh, it's a new stud and he's not proven. I don't give a fuck. You'll never get an $800 vial of semen from Double L Kennel. It just won't happen. That's the floor. You know what I mean? There's got to be, you've got to set minimums for yourself, regardless of what other people are doing. Obviously, there's going to be people that are fighting over the lower levels. There's going to be that, right? But if you set a standard and hold yourself to that standard and breed dogs that are up to that standard, people will come. People will spend money with you and get what you have.
Yeah, and then it goes into what we're talking about, you know, the factors that you have to have. Breeding the dogs is easy. You have to raise the litter. You have to.
It's more marketing now than ever.
Yes, and you have to talk the talk and walk the walk and prove yourself. And, you know, there's a lot of steps to it. So.
But I like this, what you wrote down. $3,500 puppies. If you're selling an adult female, how I look at it is, let's say a litter is 3 puppies. If I sell you this female and you get 3 puppies out of it, what are those 3 puppies going to be worth? $3,500 a piece. That's what you. That's what I sell dogs for.
Yeah.
Minimum. That's the floor as far as breeders go. $3,500 a piece. So that's $10,500. So that's a $10,000 value to you buying that dog. So you're going to expect me to sell you an adult bitch for $4K, $5K, when I know for a fact the minimum value to you on that female is $10K. That sounds an awful lot like me getting fucked.
Well,
right? I mean, who's left holding the little bag at the end of the day? That's me. If I make that decision. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to charge you $10K when I know your value is $10K, but I'm going to want to get close to that $10K, $8,000, $7,500. I'm going to want to get in that ballpark.
That's what you're going to do with her.
So I don't feel like I'm getting ass fucked.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do with her. Now, most dogs that are going to get these offers in this, they're probably not for sale in the first place, right?
No, I'm talking about the ones
are.
that are for sale. The ones that aren't for sale, we're talking.
Yeah, but
that's the value. Then we're talking the value I put on.
Yeah.
I put on the dog. This is what I'm talking about. The value for the buyer.
Right. But I mean, I've had a lot of people that, you know, they'll ask me for something that's. I don't ever advertise, you know, grown bitches hardly ever.
Right.
If I do, you know, maybe they have 1 or 2 litters left, whatever. But I mean, it's very seldom I have a 2-year-old ready to go, brand new, for sale. I don't think I've ever done that because if I kept her that long, that's the reason I have her.
If she made it here for 2 years, she's having a litter here.
Yeah, but you know, and then I get some, you know, offer like puppy price, and that's very perplexing when I'm like, oh no.
It's hard for me not to snap the fuck out. It's insulting.
So. You know, there's different ways we arrive at our prices and they'll never all be the same. But we should be. No, and we should be closer than, you know, we're all over the place here.
Right, but most of us, like established programs, most of us have stuff that's in, you know, a couple of different price ranges.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking for a $3,500 dog, I can find that. If you're looking for something that's a little more exclusive, a little more higher end, we can definitely find that. If you're trying to buy something that's not for sale, we have that also, but we're going to be getting the checkbook out for that. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to be.
And you should too if you have those dogs.
And that's exactly my point. You have to. no one's going to give a fuck about your stuff as much as you do, right? So the value you put on your stock is the value that people are going to look at. That's the standard they're going to hold. Jesus, I just knocked the camera over. Hang on here. Just trying to get us in center. But that's the value the public, the general public, is going to hold your stock to as well. Whatever floor you're standing on as far as your shit goes, that's the floor everyone's going to be standing on. You know, if they see you advertise an $800 puppy one time, people are going to be contacting you looking for $800 puppies because they've seen you advertising an $800 puppy one time. Just how it works. You have to set a standard for yourself, and you have to hold yourself to that standard. Regardless of whether the pups are 16 weeks and they're shitting everywhere and they won't stop barking outside and you fucking hate them, you can't, the worst thing somebody can do, I think, is undercut themselves. Yeah. You got enough people out here trying to undercut you to begin with, and you're going to undercut yourself.
Yeah. And then we wonder why we have problems, but we need to look within, and we need to change a few things, I think, about the way we think about that, you know?
So if somebody came to you, is that somewhat similar to how you would price an adult bitch? Whatever you consider a litter.
Well, like anything, you look at what potentially you could do. You have a plan for this dog.
Right.
So you obviously have some sort of an idea of her potential. It's like when you buy anything else, you know? And there are risks involved, and that's just the chance you take when you get dogs. Hey, it's risky. If you came in and thought it wasn't risky, I'm sorry.
Where can you buy anything that there's no risk involved?
Right.
Where? Mm-hmm. Is there someone selling fucking risk-free bridges that I don't know about?
Yeah.
Tell them to call me.
I don't know, but...
There's no investment. Nothing you can... A car. Mm-hmm. You buy a car, there's risk. You buy a house, there's risk.
And what do you pay for when you buy a car? According to what do you pay for? According to the quality, according to how many, potential miles you're going to put on this, and what its ratings are, and what its history is. All those things. Does it have a dent in the front fender and hail damage? Then it's going to be cheaper. Does it have all the options? Then it's going to be more. That's not different than dogs.
Same.
It's not different.
Samesies.
And so for the people who think they're, going to go out and get this Mercedes at the price of a junked out Honda or something else, you're not. You're not. There's a reason it's that way. Once in a while you will get a bargain. Once in a while. On somebody's misfortune. On somebody's bad luck, bad timing, whatever. But most of the time, no, you're not. And we need to get closer on that. If you guys could hear what the official kennel people talk about, the inspectors, it's scary. I'm telling you, it's scary. And
they're trying to phase us out.
We got to get our shit together. We really, really do. I'm even gonna put me in there. It's the truth.
We can't even get people to understand that even how you price your stud affects that stud's career. If you start your stud out at a $500 open up special, you just killed that fucking stud's career. You tell me one stud that's known worldwide that had a $500 stud fee in 2018. Maybe I don't know what they were studding Gotti and Remy out back in the day, but I know it wasn't a lot, $1,000, I think.
Yeah.
Even those dogs in 1990 were getting $1,000. You're telling me that your product now is not even on a 1990 level? You can't get $1,000 out of a... Okay, let's talk about that. How do you price your studs?
All my shit is priced on how bad I want to share it. And I know that's kind of screwed up.
That's a fucking dagger right to the heart, but that's a fact.
I don't want to share some stuff, okay? Because I really do this for real. I mean, I'm not.
People ask me why I opened.
Here's another thing. Why don't you price your stud if you're just going to let whoever breed to it? Oh, and it's going to be to approved females. That's another one. Once you price it high enough, then it's safe. Like, you're going to get this, and that's going to be the cost of all the blame you're going to get. Because you bred to this female.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's all going to be your fault.
Everything,
you know?
whether it's good, whether it's
fault.
bad, whether it's indifferent, you're going to be responsible for all that.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it goes back to what you expect to sell puppies for.
And it goes to what you know and what you're doing and, you know, all that shit. Like, I know what my studs can do, but most people in this game still think there's one stud for every bitch. That's not true. I don't play by those rules. There's not one stud for each bitch.
Right.
There's popular studs.
But what I'm saying is,
And then,
what I'm saying is, if you're opening your stud for let's say you're opening your stud for $1,000, that means you're selling puppies off of that litter for $1,000. In my mind.
yeah.
How are you going to ask $2,000 when the stud fee's $1,000?
Right.
So for me, a stud fee is what I think the minimum price, or what close to what I think the minimum price for a single puppy should be.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
So
that's how it used to be priced all the time. Stud fee was the price of one puppy.
one puppy.
One puppy.
But people ask why Maestro's stud fee's $5,000. I don't know one person that used Maestro that didn't sell a $5,000 puppy out of their litter. That's one puppy. That's why his stud fee's $5,000. People want to know why Junior and Cletus, when I opened them, before they ever had a production, before they ever had semen collected, they're $3,000. You want semen out of them, it's $3,000. Two reasons. One, I really don't want a lot of people having that. Cletus may be the best dog I ever produced in my life. I don't really want a whole lot of people having that.
I mean,
Two, the dad, the bus, the national winning dog, was closed. You couldn't even access him at the time I opened them. So there's exclusive, like the exclusive part comes in, adds more value. Actually, a third thing, at the very minimum, according to my contract, you're not even allowed to sell a puppy or advertise a puppy less than $3,500. So why the fuck would I come out and say you can't advertise a puppy less than $3,500, but here I'll sell you a stud fee for $2,000? What kind of sense does this make to people? I don't understand the logic that goes into people before they do things like this. You cut your own throat. You undercut yourself, you cut your own throat every time.
it also depends on, you know, your role in this. Are you doing this? I mean, why are you doing this? You know?
Because I like bitches.
We don't all care the same.
I like that spotlight.
The same way.
Give me them.
You know?
I like those likes. I like a couple of thumbs up in my life, a couple of hearts on Instagram.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
You know what I mean?
You know, a lot of people, you know, they...
I like blowjobs. That's a fact. I like people sucking my dick. That's a fact.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about...
Okay.
You were speaking in general. My bad. I thought you were talking to me. I like people riding that D. You know what I'm saying? Like people jump... First of all, people jumped off of my bandwagon a long time ago. The only people that really fuck with me now are people that, like real people, which is kind of good. I like it that way.
It is good. It's great.
I don't really have to deal with a whole lot of the riff-raff anymore because people know I don't care. I really don't. I don't need your money. So throwing money at me is, if I say no, it's going to be, I mean, you're fighting an uphill battle, you know? I don't need your money. I don't really give a shit about that. I like dogs, and I like dog people, and I like people that want to make real dogs. That's it.
I like people who have been down the road a couple times, and they're accustomed to things, how they really happen, you know?
Jose Kahuna, a.k.a. Big Kahuna, from New Jersey, just commented, said, true breeders protect their blood. Simple, elegant, true, to the fucking point. I don't know. If you devalue your shit, like there's people working against you every day, all day, to
Yeah,
undercut you, to devalue
Yeah.
your shit, to defame your name.
Yeah, every
Why would
day.
you do it yourself?
Yeah, every day. If you didn't learn anything in dogs, learn that.
Tim Levi, 3K stud fee, 3K pups. That's about how it works, Tim. I mean, in my view, my experience.
Well, if you're breeding right, you may pay a 3K stud fee, and it depends on what you breed it to. If your pups are 3K, maybe they're 6K. You don't know. I mean, that goes back to sorting, but yes, that is the plan.
Do you take? Do you take?
I've bred stuff, and it's not 3K pups. You got to get rid of that accordingly too.
Right. No, but people don't know how to pet home something.
I know.
That's another way to keep your value up, is to never let the public. I don't want to say the public, but like the breeder.
What they used to call
side
that?
of your
back
market.
in the day, culling. Nobody does that anymore. That's a fact.
We like to call that a soft cull now.
Yeah.
We got a soft cull.
Well, I mean, just if it doesn't reproduce, you culled it.
Right, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Jacob Lezak from Australia just commented, said, but not every dog in the litter can be priced the same. It can, unless it's noticeably like that quality what we're talking about.
You know what?
Or something you wouldn't breed or you wouldn't show or you don't want the public to see. Yeah, then I'm going to pet home it. But if I have a litter of puppies, I'm expecting the majority of those puppies to be fairly consistent. Obviously, shit don't work out sometimes, but
right. But if
for
you're just
me,
starting,
shit's going to be priced pretty much across the board.
you have to know what you're looking at. You do. You have to know what you're looking at. You have to know what you're up against and what you've got in the box. And everybody can bullshit and sell this over here and this over here and whatever. But after you've done this for a while, you know the difference. If this pup has all these qualities, then it's more.
But you're talking to people who've been doing this a while. That's few and far between. That's
right. It is
little
few and far
sprinkles
between.
into the crowd, those people. The majority of people we're talking about couldn't recognize a first.
I know.
Can't pick their own fucking first picks, let alone talk about. You know what I mean? So.
Well, it is, and it's.
We have to get back in the habit of culling low quality shit, and no one wants to say, "Hey, I have pet quality."
No
shit.
one wants to say. No one can even take. No one can even take it.
Right. No, that's right.
So I think it's. I love the talk, and that's wonderful. At the end of the day, we're not going to change shit talking about it. We're not. There's still going to be people that are going to do it for half price, and guess what? I wish we could keep track of how long they'll be in. I wish we could keep track of how many phone calls they'll answer when there's a problem. I wish we could keep track of all those things. Because it's different.
I think we have a delusional viewer right now. I have a dog that people would not look twice at, but he has produced 10 times better than himself every time. Listen, Celeste, okay? I've been doing this a long time. That's a unicorn. You own a unicorn, Celeste, is what I'm saying. You own the only dog in the history.
Well, what's he produced in the 10 times better?
10 times better than himself. Do you understand what that means? If you're scoring him as a 10, you're saying that every puppy off of him scores 100. You own a unicorn, Celeste, is all I'm saying. That unicorn rode across a fucking rainbow bridge down to Fantasy Island, and you own a goddamn unicorn.
Well, I don't know what 10 times better is. I don't know if...
No, obviously she's not being... Obviously, 10 times is not a real measurement. I'm fucking around.
Yeah.
But those are the best kind to have, is the sleepers, I like to call them. Mm-hmm. Like you... Maybe not the most popular dog, but every time you breed that motherfucker, it's fireworks, I love that shit. So that's, even though you may own a unicorn, I would say keep that motherfucker. Keep breeding him for sure. Okay, so Jacob actually has a good question.
Let's say Jacob.
So your first pick, would it be priced the same, Or if it's that good, would you keep it? Listen.
I'm keeping it. I mean, that's the thing, Jacob. What are you doing this for? Are you doing it just to sell puppies? Are you doing it to build a program? I don't know what you're doing it for, but, according to that, that's how you'd price that. If you're selling the whole litter, I would price it accordingly if you can sort it accordingly. If you have 3 very good ones and, these are mediocre and these are poor.
Right.
I mean, but you should be breeding so you don't, that big of a span in one litter.
Unfortunately, Jacob's in Australia.
Oh,
so they're working with a lot of first generation stuff and second generation stuff. So the consistency is not quite there yet. So it's probably going to be super important for you guys to make sure any quality puppies out of your litters stay at home. Don't sell that shit, or make sure you get the value, because the market in Australia is fucking, it's through the roof right now, because people are so interested, and because the demand is way higher than the supply right now, and it's hard to import in. So, but here's the thing: first pick only means first selection, right? Pick of the litter means best dog in the litter. First pick and pick of the litter don't always mean that's the same dog. If Jamie and I are picking out of the same Shorty Bull litter, this has actually happened with Clutch's litter, Clutch and Jake. If Jamie and I are picking out of the same litter, if I have first pick, which is first selection, it means I choose first. If I choose a shitty dog with the first selection, she may end up with pick of the litter choosing second. She may end up with the best dog because she has more experience and a better eye, and she picked a better puppy. But first pick only means first selection. Yeah. Pick of the litter, that's the best dog. And pick of the litter could come third. That could have been the third pick, but that's pick of the litter.
And really, if you have first pick, I still have first pick of the opposite sex that you pick.
Exactly. No,
always
exactly.
I have that.
Exactly.
That's
why I don't mind doing, like, if a couple of times I found really nice females that I've wanted to get something back off of, I have no problem taking second overall pick, because you're going to take first pick, you're going to take first female, then I get the first crack at the males. So I get the best, I get my chance to get the best male. Oscar said, 10 to 15K pup in Australia, is it quality or is the price inflated? The price is inflated because of demand. There is a lot of $10,000 puppies right now in Australia that aren't a real high quality, but they start somewhere. Everyone's got to start somewhere. Until we get enough American bullies on that continent for the supply to kind of catch up with the demand, that inflated price is going to be there no matter what. That's the market they're working with.
And that's like any, it's bad to say, but it's like any product when that's what you're dealing with and it's popular.
That's why gas is $3 fucking
supply doesn't
a gallon
meet the demand. It won't be like that, forever.
See, and I think this is where people get confused, Jacob. Because there's people in Australia expecting to get the quality when they spend 10K, but they're not getting the quality but they're still willing to spend that money because they're going to get in on the ground floor, so to speak. They're getting in on the boom, the original fucking boom of the bully in Australia. It's a little bit that way in the UK also. The UK kind of blew up for a second. But it's a little bit of both. I feel like there's good quality dogs down there. Don't get me wrong. There's people doing really good shit. But the price is going to be inflated either way because the import costs are so high. It's hard to import dogs there. And it takes 10 months. It takes 10 fucking months. Trust me, I'm holding a dog right now that's got to go to Australia. It takes 10 months to get through the process to send one down there. So the price is going to be inflated regardless. But there's still quality dogs down there. No doubt about that.
And, markets fluctuate depending on the popularity of breeds, and sometimes sometimes they get flooded, sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, that old things come back in style sometimes.
100%.
Something that wasn't popular now is, making its rise right now, and all those affect the prices, which brings me to the read a book part. Some business books would be helpful, just little snippets of that.
Oh, we haven't got into the
all going to apply.
The new segment of the show. Let's do product of the week real quick.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, first of all, I want to say, going back to the This Week in the Dog Life segment of the show. Now, what I want you guys to do is email me and share if you had a big event happen, or you had a dog pass, maybe somebody that was important in the program, or you had, you visited a museum, you visited a kennel, any kind of amazing stories about your life, your dog life. Email them to me. Email them to realtylumley@gmail.com, and we're going to read a few at the end of each show moving forward, and just hashtag dog life in the subject of the email, and I'll put it into the dog life segment. You get a shout out. Don't cost you shit. Maybe a little free promotion. Maybe you just want to share a cool story with us. We like cool stories. Mm-hmm. We tell shitty stories, so maybe you guys have better ones, is what I'm hoping. Anyway, email hashtag dog life, email realtylumley@gmail.com. Okay, this week's product of the week is something Jamie Sweet actually just showed me.
I'm not very good at trying new things. Sometimes I always think
so people can read it.
I always think they're a gimmick. So this has been around for a long time.
No one can read it. No rinse. What does it say? No rinse waterless shampoo from Wall Home Products.
Yeah, so I wasn't a believer in waterless shampoo.
Tell us about this shit, Jane. What do you do with it?
Actually, this stuff is amazing.
Lavender chamomile.
Yeah. So let's say, just like this weekend, we've been traveling in the crate.
Oh shit!
We've been traveling in the crate, and it's stuffy, and we've the little pups had an accident, and
oh, that's so good.
Whatever. And now we're on the road, and we can't maybe get to a.
Can I put this on me?
Yeah, put it in your beard.
Put it in my beard.
Do it.
How dare you, Jamie Sweet?
Try it. It smells so good.
It does.
Yeah. So anyway,
formulated with plant-based cleansers.
See, it's safe.
So it's got to be safe, right?
Yes, but what it really does makes the dog smell good. You wouldn't want to use it on a regular basis, but
no rinse necessary.
No, you just put it on, rub it in. You smell great. Dog smells great, and their hair feels so good.
You should be a fucking representative for these people. Calming formula, cleans, conditions,
okay, I don't know about the calming part. I don't know about that.
That's where the lavender chamomile comes in.
Okay, well, I don't know if I buy all that, but it does smell good when you're at the rest stop and one's had an accident and 3 walk through it. This is the stuff to get.
Oscar just said smells fucking Amazon. I think he meant amazing there, Oscar.
Smells Amazon.
No, pet friendly formula, pH balanced, paraben and alcohol free. What the fuck's a paraben?
Oh, you don't want parabens.
Am I saying paraben right, or is it parabene? There's
there's
no vowel on the end, so I'm guessing paraben.
Yeah,
paraben? Paraben?
And alcohol free. Means it's safe.
If we were in the Caribbean, it'd be paraben.
Paraben not.
But this shit smells amazing.
Yes, it does, but it takes some stains out, and it's good stuff.
So you use this, let's say, if you're going to a dog show the night before, you show up to your hotel.
I use this for like emergency situation, quick situation.
Right, because you should legit take shampoo and wash your fucking dogs the night before.
Well, you should let them soak even. A soaking bath is great.
Right.
But this is, this is great for emergency. Like if my mom's coming over and I think the dog stinks. because Mom
but
freaks
Wall,
out.
Isn't
I
this
got to
the
do
people
something
that
like
makes
this.
the trimmers?
Yeah.
Wall?
Yes. Yeah, that's the trimmers.
That's the only thing the only time I've ever seen that word before in my whole life is trimmers. Wall. Anyway,
Walmart.
product of the week.
You can get it.
Episode 98, Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. No rinse waterless shampoo by Wall Home Products. The shit is endorsed by Jamie Sweet. That's all that needs to be said. She loves the shit. Now,
Yeah, it's good for a pinch.
we're going to get into a new little segment that I like to call Read a Fucking Book. Okay?
I feel like I really made a difference.
It's a little aggressive. I understand it's a little bit aggressive, okay? But I'm every time we go somewhere, you show up with these fucking books to read.
I do that.
Okay?
Do you remember when we went to England and it was like
The first
oh my
trip
God.
we go on together, we didn't even really know each other. We go to England. You have 4 books for the 8-hour flight to England. I can't even read a fucking one book in 8 hours. But that's where I got introduced to the Solving the Mysteries of Breed Type. That's where I got introduced to A Dog in Action. That's where I got introduced to the Nicholas Guide to the Dog Judging. I mean, all the good books that I've read. We're going on a road trip, and Jamie Sweet says, "Hey, check this out." So what I want to do is these books that we're reading. I just want to take a couple little paragraphs and read it to you guys. Some shit that I think is helpful information. Some stuff, even shit that like. When we were on our way to St. Louis this week, I'm reading things out of this book.
Yeah.
I said multiple times. First of all, I could have wrote this shit because it's stuff I say every day. Second of all, this book was written in 1996. It could have been written last month, and it would be just as relevant now as it was in 1996. So right now, we have The Essential Guide to Judging Dogs by Andrew Brace. Okay? Andrew is a British guy. Andrew judges the hound, utility, working, and toy groups and the best in show at championship level. The guy's a fucking beast, okay? He's still the youngest person to award a best in show at British all-breed championship shows. Now that's a little right there for Andrew. Yeah. The youngest person to award a fucking best in show at a British all-breed championship show.
And, Is there a picture of Andrew?
There is. He's on the back, I believe. Andrew judging a beagle, which Andrew's kind of famous for beagles. That's kind of his spiel, his bag, baby, as the British people say. Most recently, Andrew... Oh, hold on 1 second. Overseas assignments have taken Andrew to USA, Canada, Colombia, Barbados, Trinidad, South Africa, Zambia, Kenya, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Holland, Germany, Italy, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Thailand, Australia, and New Zealand.
He has a full passport.
That's the kind of shit that you get to do when you're the youngest motherfucker to hand out a best in show at a championship level. That's the kind of shit you can do. So anyway, I said all that just to give you a little background on Andrew. I want to read just a little couple paragraphs out of the chapter 1, Why Judge Dogs, okay? Now, this is a little excerpt called The Judge's Role. The judge's lot is not always a happy one. The center of the ring is the loneliest place in the world. And having agreed to undertake a judging appointment, I hope that any would-be judge realizes the responsibilities and implications of that appointment. To begin with, the object of the exercise is to find the best dog, be it in the breed, in the group, or in the final best in show lineup. We should be looking for the best dog regardless. All we should be relying on when we make our decisions is our understanding of correct type, for the breed. Sound anatomical construction and typical temperament coupled with the basic eye for quality and balance which all outstanding judges possess. This guy is...
He's to the point.
He's very blunt. He's very to the point, and he says things that go on in my brain every day. Far from being powerful, the judge is vulnerable. He has agreed to put his neck on the line and make decisions in front of a ringside of people, many of whom think they know far more about the breed than he does. He is exposing his knowledge or lack of it and will face the consequences. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to read. Okay, we live in an instant age where we want everything now or sooner. Today, people who have maybe shown just one dog with moderate success decide they want to judge. They have a deep knowledge for the breed they own. They have done little to study anatomy. They have never bred a litter, and remarkably, they may not even own a book on their own breed. Yet they want to pass opinions in public onto other exhibitors' dogs. They get themselves on committees and soon find themselves in a position where they can influence the sport in a small way, if only by inviting judges or having a say in the approval of otherwise of judges who have been vastly more experienced than themselves. Far too many hobbyist competitors will assess a judge purely by whether or not they themselves have won under him. The depth of their knowledge of the breed is not sufficient for them to have any other yardstick. This is bad for the sport. The only understandable reason for such people wishing to judge is that they believe they know far more than they actually do. In that case, they're a lost cause. Judging dogs is not necessarily a natural progression from owning, exhibiting, and breeding. Some highly successful breeders and exhibitors have never contemplated judging, no matter how many others may try to persuade them. It is no small coincidence that such people are often far more popular than their peers, who occasionally pin on the judge's rosette. Judging dogs is not a fucking popular place to be, even though most people think somehow when you start judging, you attain this mythical power that you're in the ring making these decisions and you have some sort of authority over the whole thing. You do. You run your own ring, but at the same time, you're in the most vulnerable position in that dog show. Because people will know if you don't know your shit. Someone will call you out if you don't know your shit. It's not a fun place to be sometimes.
Right.
But if you're going to pursue the job of confirmation judge, please take the shit seriously. Please read a fucking book. And we out. That's all I got to say. You got anything to add?
That's it.
That's it. Cheers to Rampage. A true fucking shorty bull legend. Jamie Sweet, I love your face. Thanks for taking me to the
museum.
The dog museum. The artwork in there, seriously, if you guys are around St. Louis before October, make sure you look up the ABKC Museum of the Dog.
ABKC.
What is that? What did I say?
ABKC.
Did I say ABKC? See, I'm so fucked. I'm mentally just brainwashed into the ABKC. AKC Museum of the Dog. It was definitely an experience that I'm glad we took. I mean, we didn't need to take the puppies. I probably would have liked it just as much. But the fact that the director came out 3 different times.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like came and left and came and forgot to take a picture and came back and took pictures. And I don't know. Without the puppies, we definitely wouldn't have got to do that. And met him and had that conversation.
Right.
So
and learned that it's moving to New York.
Yeah, and if you guys are in St. Louis before October, check it out. if you are looking to go after October, then the museum's moving to Park Avenue in New York City.
Yeah.
Oscar, it's not sangria, it's whiskey and cranberry juice because I'm on my period. Thanks, brother. Anyway, I love your fucking faces, people. Episode 98, Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on YouTube, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on Facebook, Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on Instagram, Jamie Sweet on Facebook, Shorty Bulls 1, I think, on Instagram.
Oh, Lord, I don't even know.
I love your fucking faces, people. We'll see you next week. Look us up. Just if you haven't yet, subscribe on iTunes. Search Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast on iTunes. If you're not on iTunes, we are also on Podcast Addict. And you can Samsung or Android or whatever the fuck you guys use that aren't on Apple. I don't know why anyone in the world wouldn't be using an iPhone, but for you motherfuckers that haven't caught up yet, Podcast Addict, search Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. I love your faces. We'll see you next week. Also, Crown Royal, if you guys are looking to sponsor a podcast, I'm the guy, you know? I'm the fucking guy. Hang on, pause, finish. Live, over.